Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome into Red, White, and Ruthless. We don't have Brett with us today because he signed his life away and got married, got hitched. So congratulations to Brett and Hannah. But I got my pal Mikey. Sorry, Mikey. I'm always just saying Mike. Tommy from Mafia Sports Report, kind enough to fill in. So Tommy, just want to thank you again and let the people know how you're doing tonight.
Yeah, man, doing good, bro. Just got off the AFC East Shakedown show, talking about, all the AFC East matchups we got going on this week. And the big one, obviously, Bills versus Jets, man. This is it, bro. This is for me. I mean, I know mathematically we're not out if we lose, but it's do or die, man. I think every game from now on should be played like a playoff game, man. And let's just hope that Joe Brady has a secret ingredient to get this team going back on the right track. He has the potion to get Josh Allen to stop throwing interceptions and get this team to stop throwing, not just Josh Allen, but turnovers in general, from James Cook to drop passes as well that lead to interceptions. So let's hope that he can become the magic man, like I said, and just get this team back on the right track. But I will say, Shawn, this is a tough task, man. Week one for him, basically. Very little time to prepare. That the offense is going to remain the same as far as the playbook goes. Now, play calling might be different, and I expect it to be. But I got to say, man, this move should have been done weeks ago if this was a concern, from Sean McDermott. And it was weird, the press conference he did, because he basically said the offense was dog shit except for one game against the Dolphins. So if he felt that way, one, why did he wait so long? And two, I don't believe it's all on the offense either. Even though the defense, is depleted, we got a lot of injuries. I feel like the defense also has let us down in some games. So I don't think it's all on the offense, but the offense is probably suspect number one, right? Like they are definitely the bigger reason why the Buffalo Bills are 5-5. But Sean McDermott is just to blame, as Ken Dorsey, for this team struggling this season, because it really hasn't been good, even with some of the wins that we barely squeaked by. So let's just hope, man, that Joe Brady, in his 5 days of preparation, can get this team on the right track against probably one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Absolutely. But before we get going, I want you guys to head over to Mafia Sports Report. Give Tommy a subscribe and a like. If you guys, whoever's watching here probably already is over there, but please, if you're not, what's up, Roy? Drought our problems. Appreciate you guys coming in. Head over to Mafia Sports Report. Drop them a subscribe and a like. Great dudes over there. I always bring up, this industry or this content world. It's hard to find good people out there, and the guys over at Mafia Sports Report, especially Tommy. When I reached out, started watching their stuff in the off season. Now friendship is formed. This is what it's all about. So glad he's here. Drought era problems. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you brought up something. You brought up a great point, Tommy. Is the time when Dorsey was let go? A lot of people were wanting the move, like you mentioned weeks ago, but then you start thinking, if McDermott was seriously concerned about the offense and things of that nature, why did he wait to this point in time when maybe you could have had Brady a better opportunity to maybe get a couple more of his maybe his plays or his thoughts into the offense? Because now he's in a spot where you can't really expect anything from him, but then you have to expect the world from him. And it kind of sucks for Brady because he knows that, like, okay, wow, we still have a chance to make the playoffs, but now it's all thrown onto me. And I've been prepared, because he mentioned quarterback coach has to be prepared to call plays, but he was never expecting to be thrust into the OC position. So when you look at McDermott decision making, if this doesn't work out, I'm going to put this in the column of bad McDermott decisions, because if this was really, if he really thought Dorsey was a problem before, like you mentioned, this should have happened a couple weeks ago. So do you think McDermott just felt the pressure of those mafias pissed off and things were going wrong? So now I got to get rid of Dorsey. Like you said, it was weird, but let's get into that a little bit more. How do you feel?
Well, his press conference this week, or one of them, was a little telling when he said Josh Allen seems to be having fun again and in practice, and it seems like he's gotten his mojo back, basically is what he's saying. And first time he's seen him this year like that since he was younger, a few years ago. It's like it's really odd. It's almost like throwing Dorsey on oh, Dorsey's the one that made him not have fun, and and it's just really weird because I'm not getting the same vibe from Josh Allen on Ken Dorsey. It seemed like Josh Allen loved Ken Dorsey, and it wasn't his decision to let him go, as far as the firing happened. So odd that he would say that he's seeing Josh Allen, and I don't think Josh Allen probably would agree with that statement, that all of a sudden he's having fun now in practice. It's just weird. But I think McDermott's just trying to throw Dorsey more under the bus with that kind of comment. So it is what it is. But that would be like him saying when Frazier left, man, this defense is, they're really clicking now, boys, since, this week, since, Frazier left. It's just odd. It's just really odd thing to say. But it is what it is. So we'll see if that's the case. If you see this team, this offense gelling and having fun again, because I will say this offense just didn't seem to be right since week one, as far as their mojo, them like just having a good time out there, even after scoring touchdowns. They seemed just lost. They seemed, I don't know what it was, but I didn't feel it. Like I guess it's energy, and we could feel it at home watching. At least I can. I don't know about you all, but I could feel it. Like I don't know what it is, man. I just never got that feeling watching a Bills game this year from the offense, at least, where I was just like pumped up, like even me watching, because everything seems so difficult, so hard to score. Every drive seems like it was just a mission, right, to kick a field goal or get a touchdown.
Yeah.
And it just seemed like the team was grasping that straw. Like nothing was good. Nothing was right. And when it did go right, even then, it just seems like the players they just trotted to the sideline, and it just was, I got nothing from them. So we'll see what Joe Brady does. Like I said, I think it was a little bit too late, but there's 7 games left. Mathematically, we're not out. But my God, we have a very tough schedule coming up. Games that, I mean, we literally have to win 5 minimum, and that's 10. And I still don't know if 10 will get you in. I know 11 will, but 10 is teetering. We'll see. I mean, you're really playing with fire there. Now, if you want to win 11, that means we need to win 6 and 7.
Yeah.
Going against a very tough Jets defense, which I think is a winnable game because their offense stinks. But you got Eagles, which both sides of the ball play very well. You got the Chiefs. Yes, they're struggling in offense, but unlike us, they find a way to win. And it's at KC. And then you got the Chargers at LA. Fine, their defense is sometimes shaky, but their offense is usually on point. That could be game could go either way. And then you still got the Miami Dolphins week 18. So, Patriots, I that should be a win, but who knows with this team. But
a lot of them should have been a win this year.
Yeah, there's just, I would say 6 of the 7 games are all tough opponents. Like all those games we could potentially lose. So
absolutely.
We really need a spark here. And I will say this, if the Bills win tomorrow and the offense actually looks like they gotten something going, meaning a spark. They're feeling good. Like we could see it from home watching it. Then maybe that will get this team rolling for the next 6 games after, because I do go back to that 2021 season. I go back to that loss against Tampa Bay where we found something and we found our way. Even though it was a loss, I came out of that game going, guys, I have a feeling that game is a game that we're going to go on a roll on after, because we found something in ourselves. The team almost came back on against a very good Bucs team. I believe that Bucs team won a Super Bowl that year. So
that was the year.
Yeah. So I just felt like that was a spark that we needed, even though it was coming off a loss. And we winded up really playing well down the stretch, winded up winning the division, winded up like spanking the Patriots in the divisional game. So we really, that's what I'm saying. So in this game here, if we can come out with a win and look good in the process and fix the things that are broken right now, that could be a momentum swing for this team moving forward the next 6 games. If not, we're fucked. Like, plain and simple, guys. Easily. And that's there's no, I'll still love this team. I'll still cover this team for the next whatever. And so I'm totally done with this. But I have to be real at some point. And I think even as Bills fans, we can't just keep going, well, mathematically, and like, no, bro, that is it. Yep. You got to clean your glasses off and understand what you're watching there. And it's bad football. But if we clean it up, play good football, we're good. But that's where I see it. And I'll tell you what, if this season has, this whole offseason with the Stephon Diggs stuff, it started off shaky, guys, and nobody really wants to talk and be real about it, but it started shaky from the get-go. Then you got week 1 meltdown against the Jets, a game we should have won. Aaron Rodgers goes out. There's no excuse.
Unreal.
Then you got McDermott, once again in a situation, making the same coaching mistakes he's has for several seasons with bad clock management and bad challenges and bad timeouts. And it's been a mess all season. And then I go back to him taking over as DC. It's like, and it's weird. We're 5-5 now. And I know nobody talks about it, but it's like, has it affected his coaching a little bit? Not that his coaching was the best to begin with, but it's never been this bad. He's doing a good job on defense. I'll give him that, considering all the injuries we have in place. I have to give him the respect that's due there. But coaching-wise, it's like I feel like he's taken a step back, and that may be because he's juggling a little bit too much right now. And maybe it is messing his coaching up, meaning, okay, you should have fucking fired Dorsey a while back. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you're at mine somewhere else because of the defensive play call. I could be wrong. I'm just voicing out. I'm just throwing this out there, guys. So, also, if you go to here's how I see Sean McDermott as a head coach, guys. I feel like me and Mikey are on the same agreement on this. If you guys if you're an NFL team out there and you're rebuilding, you got a bad team like the Buffalo Bills, you're on drought, right? It's just not going well. You bring in a coach like Shawn McDermott, right? He gets the team together. He builds a good team, right? He gets the team back from the dead. And then that's where his ceiling is, right? He brings them back to life. Then you bring in a new coach to do the rest, a better coach. Like, that's how I see him. He has a ceiling. He reached it. He's gotten us as far as he can go. And I also feel like his style of coaching is play not to lose instead of play to win, which has always been his style. He's very conservative. He melts down in big moments, even in regular season games, guys. Go to this season. Look at all the games that we have nearly lost that was all on his shoulders to take, to finish the game out. It wasn't the offense. Go back. Look at the Jaguar game. Had an opportunity to get the ball back. Did not. Look at the Bengals game.
Yep.
Had opportunity to stop and get the ball back for the offense to tie the game or win the game, right? Doesn't do it. Actually win the game. Doesn't do it. Nearly cost us the Giants game. Nearly cost us the Buccaneers game. And then the Denver Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We're we take the lead. Here we go. It's in your now it's in your hands. You wanted this. You're the defensive play caller. You got under 2 minutes to take care of business. And he fails again. It's like every big moment he crumbles. And you can't have that as a head coach because yeah, sure, he might get us to the playoffs, but we're gonna be going against the best of the best. Once you're in the playoffs, you're going against the best of the best. And they're going to be tight games. Not all games they're not going to be blowouts in the playoffs. Like you're going to be in tight situations. Can't have a coach that's playing not to lose and folding in big moments. You just can't have it. So that's been Sean McDermott's style since he's been here, and I can't stand it. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
And that's where I am torn because I feel like he's done a great job getting this team back from the dead, breaking the drought. But when is enough is enough? Like 8 years, 9, 10, like what are we doing here? Like, because I don't want to be sitting here in year 9 having the same conversation to everybody here.
Oh, I know.
You know what I'm saying? So like, it's like, and I hope the Bagulas will understand that as well and not have their, vision off, because I feel like as owners, they're almost looking at what Sean McDermott has, done for this team, but they're not looking at the now and they're not looking at the future. I think they're scared to going back to, what it was. And I don't think it ever will be. As long as you got a good GM in place, you got the pieces in place, and you hire the right guy. You hire the right guy, you can get, you can move forward. I mean, there's many situations where NFL teams have moved on and won Super Bowls.
Oh yeah,
Philadelphia did it. Cincinnati did it when they moved on from their head coach. So there's a lot, even in basketball, right? Baseball. So we'll see. Like I said, I want to eat crow, guys. I want to, if Sean McDermott won the Super Bowl here, listen, I want everybody to come back and be like, you're a fucking idiot. Sean McDermott's the man. We, talking all that shit. And I'll eat it. I'll eat all of it. And, I'll take it, man, because I want a Super Bowl badly here. But I just, it's tough, guys. It's tough for me to believe he can, watching him coach since, he's been here. It's tough and big moments. So that's where I'm at.
Oh, hey, I'm with you. I've been on that since I found out McDermott was going to be the DC. And, you had similar agreements from the beginning, a similar worry. And, Chad Hall left and Leslie Frazier left. And in my mind, I'm thinking we're a Super Bowl caliber team. And now we're new defensive coordinator, new wide receiver coach, the OC's, going in the second year. Now McDermott's going to try to head coach and do defensive coordinator when he's struggled to head coach. So it was too much. And then you mentioned the Stephon Diggs stuff in the offseason. It's too much for a team that was supposed to be competing for a Super Bowl. And now it's finally coming back in week 10. Now you're 5-5. Nobody has juice or energy besides like Diggs and Ryan Vandermark. Because I know that because Jake was sitting right behind the bench last week. And he said really the only person on the sideline that was hyped up was Ryan Vandermark. So, and that kind of alarms me because you go back, you mentioned that Bucs game, that everybody just flipped the switch and the whole season changed. I never noticed it just seems like if they're not winning immediately, they just all shut down. And then they're like, oh, let's pack it in. Maybe we can do it next week. And I just don't know where that came from. Cause you could say, people could say it's Dorsey, but how does a whole team just, are they too cocky? We're like, oh yeah, we've done it before. We can get out of this. Like, are they waiting till they get out of it to start being excited again? But that's one thing Josh was saying that I was tired of hearing was, oh yeah, I believe we could do it because we've done it before. Well, yeah, but now like this is a super, super dire situation. And I want to see fire from everybody, not just Diggs. not just Ryan Vandermark. I was big on being a vocal leader, and I always mention that for Josh. Like he says, "Oh, I do it with action." Well, your actions are you sitting on the bench when you do a mistake? And I always reference that the Jaguars game in the playoffs last year. They were down 27-0 in halftime. Lawrence threw 4 picks, and then if that was the Buffalo Bills, can you imagine what the second half would have been like? We would have lost by 70. But the Jags came back, and they're like, you know what? It's a 0-0, we'll say, this half. And we're going to go out there and we're going to win this football game. And that's one thing I also, going back to Brady's press conference, he mentioned it's always about the next play, the next completion. And I've used that in my bowling analogies. When I explain it to people, it's the next frame's all that matters. Don't matter if you got a strike. And I love, that was the best thing I got from his press conference, was always looking the next play ahead. So when Josh, you get a pick, you throw a pick, forget about that, because you got a whole rest of the game left to make up for that. You don't got to hang your head. You don't got to think the game's over. You threw a pick and they got a field goal out of it. All right, it's 3-0, but now what are you going to do next? And hopefully Joe Brady's thought process and energy, hopefully that's enough to get these guys in the thought process of one mistake isn't going to kill us. One mistake kills us if we let it compound, and that 2 and 3 and 4 mistakes kill us, which it's been. So hopefully, I just don't know where that came from this year. And I hate to put it all on Dorsey or McDermott, but systemically, I just feel like everybody's down, and it's really, really upsetting.
Yeah. I mean, it's been down for a while now, and yeah, I mean, I gotta say, hearing Joe Brady talk, his interview this week, this is press conference, whatever. I like what I heard, no doubt. Like, he sounded like a guy that could that was genuine, that had a plan, or at least thinks he has a plan for this offense. Like, he said all the right words, but I've heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard it from a lot of these. I've heard it from players and coaches especially. Listen, man, I got to see it, and it starts Sunday, plain and simple. But yeah, Josh to me has never. That's one thing going a year. Is year 6 for Josh. His sideline demeanor. Now, mind you, they don't go to him out, like, they don't pan. The cameras are smooth. The whole game, they're smart. They'll pan over on, like, the worst moments, right? They love it. Like, that's what it gives people things to talk about. That's what they do, that shit on purpose. But I still never have really seen him be that vocal. And he's admitted, by the way, it's not me just saying it. Never been like a vocal leader. And he said that himself. He's more of a, he goes on the field and he shows you, right? And that's fine. But I also feel like you need to be a little vocal. I'm not saying yell at your players or, but I think he needs to be more of a leader as far as that role goes. Go to your teammates, hey, man, we got this. I've seen it from the best quarterbacks, right? Peyton Manning, Tom Brady. Like, you get your teammates up, pick their heads up. It seems like more players go to him to tell him to put his head up, or like shake it off, or like, it's just like, man, you know what I mean? Like, you're the leader, man. You're, you are the captain. You are what everyone is looking at. You're the whole team. Like, even on the defense side of the ball, they look at you as the leader. Like, and exactly. I need him to eventually take on that role, whether he likes to or not. He needs to eventually take more on a role of being that leader. But yeah, man, we'll see, man. If it's true and Josh Allen seems to be having a better time, and I will say too, I think McDermott has had his hand on this offense. And I'm going to say that because it's really odd to me that last year the offense seemed to flow better. Now, mind you, it kind of collapsed a little bit towards the tail end, but I didn't ever think last year, even when it was not doing so well at the end, that the offense was not having fun or was really just stuck in the mud. I never got that feeling from the offense. We were second in scoring to finish the season. We were, I think, third overall on offense. we were doing things last year that we aren't doing this year. So it's just odd to me that all of a sudden things have changed from one year to the next with the same team virtually, same type of playmakers. Matter of fact, in my opinion, you upgraded from Hardy to McKenzie, and yet, you can't find a role for Hardy. Sherfield's been a non-existent player, even though he was a player that I thought could do something here because of his size and speed and what he did last year with Miami. And he's been a non-existent player. So my biggest thing on Dorsey, my biggest take was he didn't know his players' strengths and weaknesses. You need to know that as a coach, head coach, as an offense coordinator, defense coordinator. You need to know. You need to know what their strengths and weaknesses are. He never set this offense up right for each player to have success, in my opinion. So Hardy, for instance, if you go back last year to McKenzie's a limited route runner. He's limited in some things and he's great in other things. Guy has good speed. He does jet sweeps good, pop passes. Like we used him to his, we used him the right way. To his strengths. And you get Hardy and we just don't do that. Like we've never done that. And I don't get it. How you know how to do it for McKenzie, but you don't know how to do it for a player that has probably better speed, who's a better route runner. It just doesn't make sense. And then also, if we're going to flip the script, go to Allen, I feel like this year Allen has been stuck in the pocket more than I've ever seen. He hangs in the pocket way too long. That's not Allen's game. And I think McDermott wanted him to stay in the pocket longer. I think that was him and Dorsey's doing. I think he told Dorsey, I don't want Allen to run. I want Allen to stay in there as long as he can to make that decision in the pocket. Because like I said, Allen, if you notice, is really getting jammed up in the middle of the pocket. Also, Allen's decision making this year is he's hesitating. He's overthinking. I've never seen that from him. Maybe his rookie year. Even if you go back last week to the touchdown run, he had it, right? He could have he hesitated. It was the oddest thing. If you go back and look at that, he almost stopped. It was like he was overthinking it. He's never been like that. Go. What are you doing? It's just really odd, man. And even when he's rolling out now, you could see him. He's waiting. It's waiting. It's like he's never done that before. He's made his decision and we lived with that. Like even if it was a turnover, I'll take it. But the whole hesitating thing and then getting rid of it the last second because now you're under pressure. Now you have no other choice leads to a real disaster. And I think that's another thing that's hurting this offense is just, I don't know if like I said, if McDermott and Dorsey just really dialed it in to Allen, hey man, you're not going to run. We need you to be a pocket passer. Stay in the pocket. You've got to be smart. And maybe it's just gotten Allen's head and Allen's just like, that's why Allen to me seems a little lost. Like he seems like it's not his game. It's not what he wants to do. He's not having fun out there. So I kind of want the old Allen back, and I don't really even mind the turnovers because the old Allen, even with the turnovers, we were scoring points. We were having fun. The offense was clicking. I'll take a couple turnovers for the old Allen back because that's what we need. I'm telling you, this new Allen, stay in the pocket, hold the ball way too long. It's not working, guys. And it's going to get him hurt, by the way. It's going to get him hurt. All of Allen's injuries, by the way, guys, because everyone's so concerned about him running, have been in the pocket. Every single one has been in the pocket. Him getting hit behind the line. Every single one. It hasn't been him taking off and getting hit late or like we don't want that, but they all come from in the pocket. So just throwing that out there, it's not working keeping him in the pocket like that. So get him on the move a little bit, man. And I hope that Joe Brady sees that. I also hope that he understands this run game that we got going here works better when we get Murray involved early and have him chip away the defense because he's a bigger back that can do that. He's a bruiser. If you notice James Cook's best games this year, they've come after Murray has established some runs. His best games, go back to Denver this last week. I mean, against Buffalo, Denver and Buffalo. He's sat out 16 plays while Murray's in there tearing up he was
good
on the ground, right? Right. He was doing good. Then you sprinkle James Cook in there. Finally, Cook comes in. And what Cook does a great job. Fucking gets chunk yards. Why? Defense is softened up now, right? Now Cook can run between the tackles better. And that's something that Dorsey just never understood. Even though I was screaming it all season long, this is what you need to do to get this run game going. By the way, Fournette probably won't see the field again this weekend, which is driving me insane. It makes
McDermott's waiting until it's too late.
Yeah, he doesn't need the full playbook, by the way. McDermott.
You don't.
He needs to know, like, you can give him some of the playbook for when he's in the game. Okay, man, here. This is what we need you to know. When you're in the game. Ba, 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 ba. The only time you're going to get in here is on these plays, so learn them. Okay, cool. Then as his season goes, he can learn the rest of the play. Right, that is simple. What's the fucking holdup? Like, it makes no sense. That's another thing McDermott drives me crazy, right? Like, why are you what? You rather have Josh Norman who does nothing, contributing nothing? Stop, bro. So it's like I don't get it at all. But we'll see. We'll see. I just feel like if you had that three-headed monster in there with Murray, Fournette, and Cook,
that'd be awesome.
And
that'd be incredible.
And we use them the right way, right? Which is get the bigger backs involved early, and then let Cook really do his thing. By the way, Cook, terrible pass protector, right? But Fournette and Murray are very good at it. So you can really use those guys in a lot of situations. They're not like bum running backs. So I'm hoping Brady understands this, he sees this, and utilizes it. So that's where I got with it, with what I see.
Yeah, it's like thinking about Allen, and you think you got an idea, and then it's like something else comes up. So like they want to keep him in the pocket, but if he doesn't want to be a pocket passer, like sitting there for 5 seconds, hit the play immediately. Like they're drawn up. Like there's quick passes set in where, all right, there's your first read, get it out immediately, and keep moving down the field. But then it's like he keeps looking for that big play, and then he, like you said, then he sits in the pocket, doesn't want to take off. And then he's creating all this circus in his head. And then he's like, oh, I threw 3 picks in the Jets game. I don't want to do that anymore. But then if I throw it immediately, what if they tip the pass and then it's picked off, and then the defense is all injured, and if I can't score 40 points, we're not going to win football games. It's like, I just don't think it's even – I hope it's possible this year. But it seems like this season, ever since that Jaguars game where everybody got hurt, it just – as soon as like Milano and Jones went down – everything started changing. And the defense has played well, but I just feel like deep down, because I'm a big advocate of, I'm not going to argue if someone says Dorsey's play calls were the worst in the universe, because with that being said, there's so many mistakes that the defense didn't cause, but we caused ourselves, where we could be like the Chiefs right now. The Chiefs offense has been worse than ours has been, with Andy Reid calling plays and Matt Nagy, and they're 7-2. We're 5-5, and we.
Oh, but to that point, there's 2 big differences there, and why. So, one, we have better, in my opinion, we have better receiving core, right, than the Chiefs. Okay, and our offense is better statistically because we have players like that can generate those numbers and score, right. The Chiefs right now are really, it's Mahomes and Kelsey, right? So, but the difference between them and us, like I said, it goes back to their head coach, who's a play to win head coach, a Super Bowl winning head coach, and their defense knows how to make a stop in the right time. Ours does not. So that's why they have a winning record. But their offense is not like ours, because we actually have. We have the players. I'm telling you, we have the players. But here we go. So for me on the Ken Dorsey thing, it's like I agree in a sense where it's like players got to execute. They do. You can't fumble the ball. You can't hold the ball forever. You can't always look for the big yard play downfield. Players can't drop passes. Offensive line can't break down at crucial moments. Running backs can't fumble the ball away, like I said. So there's a lot too that execution means a lot. But as an offensive coordinator, you're responsible to put the players in the best position, right? The offense in the best position. And if you're stale and you're generic and you're not creative and you don't have any in-game adjustments when things aren't going right, you're gonna fail no matter who you got on the field. And I look at, like I said, I look at this team and go, why isn't Shakir in the slot more often? Why isn't he taking slant passes more often? Why isn't Hardy taking slant passes like he did in New Orleans? Go back and look, like I said, go back and look at the Jaguar game. They did a slant pass to Christian Kirk. It took it to the house for a win this year against, I forget who they were playing, but we have a guy in Hardy that could do the same. You get an open field. That's what those guys are great at doing. Speed kills. We don't do that. We never do that. We run a very backyard football type of offense. And teams, NFL defenses are now going, okay, this is a very easy defense to read. If they're lined up this way, this is what you can expect. And when Allen's not running now, it's even easier to predict. They're going, okay, Allen ain't taking off anymore. That dude's a pocket. He's going to hold that fucking ball. So guess what? Now we're just going to lay back and just fucking pick him off. And we're going to fucking play the zone, and he ain't taking off. So it's really affected this offense with Allen not running either. So
No,
that's what I mean about the offense and the play calling. Like, so Ken Dorsey, I'm not saying he was the worst, because you can't be if you're, if you led your team to, second in scoring and third in total offense the year before. And even this year, it's not the worst in the NFL or anything, but it could be way better because we have the players to make it way better. It's just the play calling has been generic and it's been conservative. And that's why I kind of go back to McDermott, because I think McDermott kind of likes that style, that old school conservative. It's not how we're built, guys. It's not how the Bills offense was built. Not under Dable. That's why listen, I don't think Dable's the greatest OC ever. Like I at times I couldn't stand him. But what was the difference between Dable and Dorsey? Dable didn't give a fuck about what McDermott said. He ran his offense the way he wanted to. He was going to have Josh do what he wanted him to do and what Josh was comfortable in doing. When Dable left and McDermott and Dorsey took over, McDermott told Dorsey, I'm telling you, we ain't doing that shit Dable did. We're going to slow that shit right the fuck down. So you could all that shit in the playbook, you could put a big X on, because I don't want Allen doing this. I don't want him doing this. We're going to run the ball. We're going to do this. And it's been a disaster. And I think even this season's even gotten worse because he implemented it. He dialed it in, McDermott, in the offseason. And here we are. And I think now you see McDermott, he's having fun. Josh. Because I think now he's like, fuck it. Might as well let Josh. Like now he's almost like just not giving up, but like he's just like, what choice do I have now? Fuck it. Go and just let Josh be Josh now.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks, McDermott. Now we're fucking 5. Now you want to go back to the fun ball? You want to go have fun? Okay. So it's just that's why I'm like so frustrated when it comes to
absolutely. I will say though, since the Dolphins game, we've given up the least amount of sacks, but we have the most turnovers. And then when I go back to think about the Chiefs, it's they don't have the catastrophic mistakes. As bad as their offense is, we kill ourselves. They get the job done. So again, Dorsey does have, whoever's calling plays has to put them in position to win. But think about it when you're driving.
Shawn,
what's that?
You owe somebody an apology. And I told you that you would. I told you that you would say it when we got to talking this year, and you said you didn't think you would.
Who?
Come on, say his name.
Who do I owe an apology?
You definitely do, because you were ragging this guy from fucking since the day I met you. Come on. Let's do it.
Kincaid?
Let's do it right. No.
I was never ragging him. I just said I expect a lot from
Kincaid.
him.
And it wasn't Kincaid, but that one too. But no, it was another guy. He
Ooh.
plays offensive line. He happens to be on the right side.
Yeah, I've been giving him props since week 2.
But you ragged him for the very. Come
on
he deserved
now. It.
Let's give Spencer Brown. But what did I talk? Remember when we had our conversation, by the way, in the offseason about Spencer Brown? What did I tell you? Remember when we talked about this? I told you, take it easy, because listen, Spencer Brown, since he's been here, he hasn't really had the opportunity to work with Cromer. Cromer came last year. Cromer's a very good offensive line coach, right? He won awards when he was with the Saints. Very good. He didn't have the chance to work with Cromer because he had the back thing. He was thrown into week 1 last year, right? Automatically, boom. And his back was still, he was still recovering. And I told you, let's see what Spencer Brown could do with a full offseason with Cromer, a full preseason with Cromer. And I'm not saying Spencer Brown is, oh my God, great.
No, he's much better, though.
You see how good he got now that he had the time and he's healthy, and he had that time with Cromer to really work at his craft. And that's where I was trying to tell you. And I know that you were like, oh, no fucking way. Whatever. But that's why I was saying with you. You know what I mean? So we got to give our love to some of these guys. You know what I mean? And I think Spencer Brown is due, by the way, not just you. I think a lot of Bils Mafia owe Spencer Brown at least that, where it's like, hey, maybe we were wrong. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
no, I agree. I don't think anybody owes him an apology. Okay. I don't think anybody owes him an apology because he did suck. But like you said, at least to say this guy's improved. And I've been doing that since week 2, giving him his props. And I say, hey, if he plays bad again, I'll let him have it. But he's finally showed that he can play football. So I've been very happy and blown away with how the unit as a whole has been, but especially his improvement was he's definitely been the most improved player on the team, I think. And if you're going back to the 53, but
100%.
But going back to like the turnovers in the worst opportunity, in the worst moments. So like I mentioned, the play calling could be the worst in the world. But think about that Bengals game. If Kincaid didn't get the ball jarred loose on that one drive, that's a touchdown. Then if we didn't get that penalty where the drove us out of field goal range, that's 10 points. We win the game 28-24. The Patriots game, Josh doesn't throw a pick on the first play, not reading the defense properly, which is out on him. Maybe we don't lose that game. Or, the Broncos game where James Cook fumbles the first play and then Josh throws a pick almost in the first drive and then the first play of the next drive. It's just these things that if you limit them to one turnover a game or maybe 2, it's even different with that. But I get what you're saying. Like, the coaching is a massive part in it. But then when you think about also with Josh, because he doesn't take the underneath stuff and because he thinks it's boring, they're always going to play cover 2 on him. And then the deep shot's never going to be there. And he's just going to force and force and force. And he's going to throw picks. And that's why, like, I'm really frustrated that he says, oh, I'm bored with throwing underneath. I got to learn how to not get bored with it. You want to win football? Tom Brady won 6 Super Bowls off doing that. And until you start doing that and getting comfortable with being bored, they're going to step back in the cover 2 and they're going to bait you like they've been doing the whole season, no matter who's calling plays. And you're always going to make the wrong decision because you've never been good at making decisions. But if you take the easy stuff, you take the James Cook when he's wide open, if you take the Diggs when he's running a short out or a slant immediately, or you take Kincaid when he's running short, then they have to come up on you. And then you can go deep. But I just think he's so fixated on getting a 40-point play in one throw. And I think until he realizes, like, because we've talked about not just me and you, but everybody, we can't just be Diggs and Allen offense. We have to trust the other guys. And like you mentioned, we got the guys to do it. We got players that, we got a good offensive line now. We got a good running game. We got good, good secondary weapons that can make plays. And he still wants to do everything. And I know, I think to me, it's just, I think we got in this kind of game, especially with the Jets, you have to do what we were doing week 1 before you started throwing picks. Run the ball a little bit, throw the short dump offs, and methodically go down the field and just don't turn the football over. But if he's going to get bored with it, then it's going to be the same thing. And just a quick stat that I got from, I think it was Steve Tasker. In 10 games versus the Jets, Josh has 9 touchdowns and 17 turnovers. Like, you can't win football games turning the ball over.
No. Yeah, I listen, I agree. You got to take what the defense gives you, a lot of the times. But I also don't want a captain check down. I don't want a repeat of, Trent, what was his fucking name? Trent, our old quarterback. I forget his damn name because I hated him so much. Captain check down, I forget his name. Damn, I wish I remembered his name. You know his name, the quarterback we had after Lawson, Trent Edwards.
Oh yeah.
I don't want Trent Edwards in numbers, and wearing a 17 jersey either. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I get it. I get that he has to take the, what the defense is giving him sometimes, but you also can't do that the whole game. You got to take chances. And and I will say this too, our best years in this offense was in 2020, 2021. And in my opinion, and we constantly took chances downfield. We constantly weren't afraid to make the big plays. Whether it was an interception or not, but that's what led us to, getting to the AFC Championship in 2020. That's what led us to nearly getting to a Super Bowl in 2021. If it wasn't for the 30 seconds, playing not scared, not playing the short ball. But I get what you're saying. Against better defenses, I totally understand that. You're going against a Jets defense week 1. They're giving you the underneath stuff. Let your playmakers do the rest. I'm with that. But some games, some opponents, you don't have to play that way. Or not even that. It just depends how the game is flowing. Not every game is going to be like that. There's going to be some games where you can take those shots where you're just clicking on offense, where a Gabe Davis, for instance, against the Chiefs could not be stopped. Where, go back to that game, right? That Chiefs meltdown in 13 seconds. If we were playing short ball that whole game, we might have never got back in that game. But because we were going deep, we saw it there. Gabe Davis was just on fire, right? Like he was just making dudes look like they were on skates. We took that. We went ahead and continued on. And that's what got us back in that game. That's what took us the lead. So there is, like I said, it depends on the moment, depends on the game, depends how your offense is clicking. Right now, it's not. So I get it. Sometimes you got to take what the defense gives you and get in the flow, and then maybe you could take your shots downfield. So we'll see. The Jets game is going to be an interesting one, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And, we did go deep a lot those years, and, that was awesome. And I think part of, maybe what Josh is frustrated with is he wants that all the time. But then back then, they're not playing him how defenses are playing him now. And he just refuses to understand that, hey, you don't have to throw checkdowns all game, but just do it enough so they know, okay, he's going to keep doing it if we keep allowing the underneath stuff. So now maybe let's try to come up a little bit and maybe make a play. And then you can do double moves like Gabe Davis was doing in the Chiefs game. And then, now I can hit him over the top. Or when Diggs beat Sauce in the double move last year, that game we lost, I think it was the one we lost. But the first play of the game, we hit Sauce with a double move. Then you got him. And, Josh is a fantastic player. He's a great player. But teams know now, like you mentioned, he's not going to run out of the pocket for some reason, which that, to me, if I was Josh, even if McDermott said, I don't want you to run, if I'm in the pocket and I don't see a play open, I still run. I just be like, what are you going to do? I think it was you.
Said, I said it. What are you going to do, bench me? Right. I would love for people to make shirts that says that. What are you going to do, bench me?
Yeah.
Because you ain't putting no fucking you ain't putting Kyle Allen in.
Exactly.
If you're mad at Josh Allen. So if I'm Josh Allen, I'm saying, like I said, I've said it multiple times. Don't be scared to go up to the huddle and change the play call to audible out.
Exactly.
I said it multiple times. You don't like Ken Dorsey's play? Change that shit. You want to go up. By the way, and I hope also Joe Brady implements this, and I don't know if he will. Up tempo offense has worked for this offense this year. And I'm not saying you have to do it every fucking quarter. However, if it's working and you have the team to do it, look at Jim Kelly and the K-Gun. They did it well. They did it often. That's how you got to play it. And I feel like this team has done its best job, best work on offense up tempo. And I hope Joe Brady understands this. And by the way, when you go up tempo, you need to go no huddle. You need to get to the line and you need to call the play. You don't sit there and wait around until the play clock
is so much
because then it means nothing. What is that's not up tempo.
No,
now
absolutely.
The defense is set. Now the defense knows what you're doing. Up tempo, no huddle. You get up to the line, you hike it at fucking 18, 17 seconds. There is no wait around, look what the defense. No, you go. And it's worked the best for us. Every single game this year, we've gone up tempo. We have done really good work. And I hope Joe Brady looks at that. Like, I'm really hoping he understands and he sees what has worked and what hasn't. Like, to me, take away what hasn't totally almost out of that playbook. Okay, that shit ain't working. Fuck it. We're going to take it out. I don't care. I don't care if McDermott likes it or not, that play, the shotgun draw on 3rd and 1. We're taking it out. It has not worked. Fuck that play, okay? We're going to go under center, and Josh, we're going to push you, butt push you, or we're going to run Murray or Fournette or whoever, Man, I was looking at some plays we did when Singletary was here, and Dable was calling plays. Man, just some creative plays, man, that got us chunk yards or touchdowns that we just don't do. I wish I could show you, but there was one where it was a handoff to Singletary, but it was a simple Josh Allen kind of tucked the ball away, almost looked like he hit it behind his back.
Liberty.
And he was going to throw it to the right, and he just tossed it to and hand it, and he took it for a time. It was beautiful, but we don't. That's what I'm saying. I swear to God, the only creative play I saw this year, and I'm like, okay, here we go. At least for me, and it's not even that creative. It was the touchdown pass against the Dolphins to Gabe Davis, and it was a wide receiver screen fake to Hardy, and it got the defender to bite. Because guys, all you got to do is make the defender bite for a split second, and there's your room. There's the space. And Josh Allen did that with a simple pump, got the defender to stop real quick, and then boom, you got it. And we don't do that enough. That's what I'm talking about with creativity. And that's also where I think Ken Dorsey lacked on this offense. He wanted to just be a very good basic offense team, and you can't do that. You got to throw some creativity in there because you're going against a quarterback, a defensive coordinator who knows the stuff. It's a chess match. You know that, right? So defense coordinator, it's on the other side of the field, offense coordinator here, and they're battling. It's like a video game, right? They're both going, all right, I got this play. I'm going to call this play. And then your players are down there executing. And if you're an offense coordinator and you're not adjusting to what the other guy is doing on the other side of the field, you are fucked. Plain and simple. You are done. And I think that's another thing that Ken Dorsey just didn't do well. He didn't know how to adjust. That Dolphin game, by the way, beautiful, executed perfectly, play calling perfect, but he didn't ever in that game had to adjust. The Dolphins defense never adjusted, right? We kept beating them Kuho. We kept throwing his way because they never adjusted. They never took Kuho out. They never got him help. So we just kept picking on him, right? So if the Dolphins defense adjusted, maybe that game's not a blowout. Because Ken Dorsey wanted to change his play calling. But because they never adjusted, we just looked like we were the fucking, holy shit, 48 points. But moving forward, look at all the defenses we played. They've all adjusted every single time, right? Even the Tampa game, we were up 17, whatever.
24 to 10. 24 to 10.
But at halftime, halftime we only had 17, I think, right? So.
Oh, yeah, maybe. Yeah, I think it was 17.
Then we come out, we score right away. Third quarter, then boom, Tampa Bay adjust. We don't score no more points. And then they chip away, and we almost lose on a Hail Mary. Just like that. Just like that. Because we went conservative. We didn't adjust.
Yeah.
Done. So I hope Joe Brady and, like I said, Josh Allen I hope Josh Allen's handcuffs are off. I hope he understands this and says, screw it. We got 7 games left. I don't give a fuck. And I hope Joe Brady has that mindset where it's like, hey, you know what? I'm an interim OC.
Yeah, what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, who was going to fire me too? Okay. You know what I mean? I'll go somewhere else and be a fucking quarterback coach again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this, Tommy. Why and it seemed like to me this is what was happening. Why do you think Josh never felt okay with checking out of because you know you got the typical there's always 2 plays within one where you can get out of it. But how come you felt why do you feel or that you think Josh would never really felt comfortable or like he could
like audibling
call
out
his own do whatever he wanted to do? Because I feel like for me personally, this is your offense. Daboll built it around you. Dorsey took Daboll's playbook to build it around you. This is your team. This is your offense. And I feel like by now in year 6, he should feel that okay, I know I can do anything in this offense. This offense is built for me. If I don't like this one play, like that, say it's like the 3rd and 1, we're gonna be in shotgun. I'm gonna audible. I'm gonna get up to the line under center. I'm gonna call this, and then everyone's gonna know what I'm saying, and then boom, we're right into it. Like, why do you feel like he still hasn't gotten to that point in his career yet? Do you think it's McDermott or?
Yeah, I think McDermott plays a role in it. I think under Daboll, he didn't have to for the most part. I think Daboll, like I said, I think Daboll ran it how he wanted to run it, and that's why you have that friction between Daboll and McDermott now. Like they just don't like each other because I think that was a messy exit. It's an exit that's not talked about. And hopefully one day we know about more.
Yeah,
like,
I really want to know.
yeah, and I really do. Like I same with Chad Hall. Like I really would like to know because I think there's a lot more going on behind the scenes with this McDermott coaching staff than what we all think is going on. You know what I mean? Like everything's great. McDermott's good. Yeah, like maybe he's not. Maybe he's a control freak. And I just think Daboll is a guy that's been around. He didn't give a shit what McDermott thought. He was going to do it his way. And McDermott eventually said, the thing was McDermott couldn't fire him early because it was working. Right. And it really couldn't fire him at all. It took Daboll to get a head coach. Right. Like he wasn't going to let a guy go that was actually making this offense go. Right. Like even if he didn't like it. So once that came to an end, and I think there was some friction that year, and I'm sure Daboll was like, geez, I hope to God I get a head coaching job because I got to get the fuck out of here. But he also, I think he didn't want to leave and take the same kind of role. So he wanted that head coaching role.
Yeah.
Boom, gone. But then look at Chad Hall. He took the same role as a wide receiver coach. He's not like he got upgraded. He just wanted the fuck out. And it's odd because why would he want out? Geez, you're with Stephon Diggs and Gabe Day and Dawson. Like you love these guys. Like they really did. They bought him a truck. Like that was a close relationship between Chad Hall and those receivers. A lot of people don't talk about that. Really close. Maybe closer to McDermott in the players.
Yeah, that shook me a little bit.
And when he left to be a wide receiver coach, same shit. You got to question what is going on. So I do think McDermott has a little bit of I think Josh doesn't want to upset him or like not upset him, but like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, but he just doesn't want to like get him like where he's like,
I get it. They like step on toes and
exactly. Like I'm going to do what my coach says. He wants it. I'm going to do it. He's the leader. You know what I mean? And I think as far as changing calls, I think he's maybe so used to just going with it that when, Dorsey dials it in, he's just going with it. You know what I mean? He's trusting Dorsey like he trusted Daboll. And then I think that's why you saw this year, though, that lost look. Because I think he was thinking, damn, like, I don't get it. Like, I'm doing everything they ask. You know what I mean? I've done this before. I did this with Daboll. Why is now these plays why isn't that working? And Yeah, I and I don't think he's ever had that responsibility to do it. Like he never had to do that. So maybe now it would be a good time to go fuck it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like if
I'd
Joe
like
Brady's
that from him.
not, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
but maybe Joe Brady puts him in better positions where he doesn't need to do that. You get what I'm saying? So we'll see how Joe Brady does. But yeah, I definitely think McDermott, you could tell that first game too. He was really on Josh's ass. Like you could, like be smart. And I get it, be smart, but man, he's 6 year like gay, buddy. Like you don't think Josh fucking knows to be smart? Like nobody takes it a loss harder than Josh Allen. Nobody's harder on himself than Josh Allen. Like yes, he played bad, but he will go up to the podium and say, it's on me. I play like shit. I shouldn't do that. So you don't need to show him up on the sideline. He's year 6. You know what I mean? Like, so I'm just saying, like, maybe I didn't like that either from our head coach, to be honest with you. I mean, trust me, you don't think Josh Allen knows he needs to not fucking turn the ball over? Like, you don't need to be.
Well, I mean,
He's not a rookie. He's not a rookie. You know what I mean? He's a smart. Believe me, if he was a rookie, I get it. If you remember Josh Allen's rookie year, Dable be all up in his ass. Fuck you think, and he does that. Dable does that now with Daniel Jones. Like he will do that. But if you're a veteran quarterback, very, very rare do you see coaches or quarterback coaches or OCs get in their veteran, like yell at their, quarterbacks if they're a veteran quarterback, especially a good one, an elite one. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like just very rare, very, very rare you ever see that. I think Tom Brady had it happen once, where his OC and him got in a fight. You know what I mean? And it's like, well, bro, you know who the fuck Tom Brady is, bro? You better back the fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. Well, that's what I hope to get that's what I hope Josh turns into. And I hope that, that's why I asked, is because, I mean, typically, like, to be like, I'm not saying everyone is like Peyton Manning, but to be a guy like Peyton Manning or like Rodgers, who could go up to the line and run the game themselves, and the offensive coordinator is basically just a paid position where they don't really do anything. That's like a 10 year, like by 10 years, I hope that he's doing that, where he's not just sitting back and then, okay, my offensive coordinator tells me to do this, I'm going to go do it. I hope that he still can gradually get to that point, and, maybe even this week, trusting himself a little bit. If he doesn't like the play call, maybe say, hey, I've noticed the defense is lining up this way. Can we do this? Or just do it on his own. And then, like, there was always a phrase. I don't know if it was a good phrase to use in the military, but they always says, ask for forgiveness, not permission, or something like along those lines. So maybe Josh does something that he notices because he's on the field and he's playing. And then Brady's like, oh, hey, what'd you see there? Because I don't think he'd get mad, but hey, Josh, what'd you see on that play? Oh, I saw Quincy Williams. He started to bait up a little bit, and then I saw a soft spot in the zone, so I hit Kincaid there instead of hitting somewhere else. And they'd be like, oh, okay, awesome, I love that, and let's work on that. So
right,
I'm hoping that with a young guy, and that's not that Dorsey was old, but with a guy like Brady, that's one thing I'm looking forward to. Hopefully, it gets to this point this year, but it's that understanding of, I'm still I'm your superior in a way, but I have the same goal in mind. And you could talk, like I always tell when I have, I have employees once in a while, like contracted work, and I say, hey, I may own the company, but I'm not going to treat you like you're below me. We're going to work together, and we're going to treat this job like me and you are a team, and I'm not above you and I'm not better than you. We're doing the same thing. And hopefully, I think Brady's going to be like that to Josh, and he can feel like, okay, I feel comfortable wanting to do what I want and telling the coach, hey, I like this. I think we could do this, instead of being like, oh, I'll just let Dorsey call it, or I'll just let McDermott, I'll trust them. Like, you got to trust yourself too.
So you bring up Peyton Manning. So it's a great, love Peyton Manning, but he was drafted in 98, and I believe he won a Super Bowl in 2006 or 7. Took him a long time. Okay. That's a lot of years of getting better, maturing as a quarterback. Did not happen overnight. His first season, I think he won 1 game, right?
He had 30 picks, I think, or 28.
Yeah, so listen, some guys it takes a little bit to get where you want to be. I mean, even John Elway, drafted in 84, didn't win his first Super Bowl. So what, 90 something, right? So I'm just saying it's, not every quarterback is right out the gate like a Patrick Mahomes, right? Like, so I want to be like, when people are so critical on Josh Allen, it's like, whoa, pump the brakes here. Even the greats, some of the greats took a while, and some of the greats have never won one. Dan Marino, Jim Kelly. I mean, the list goes on, and they were Hall of Fame quarterbacks. So it's like, I don't like the whole, talk where it's, and I'm not, it's not you, but I mean, there's a lot of people. It's like, Josh Allen sucks. He can't win big game.
You've seen that a lot now.
Bro, he's in year 6. Slow down, settle down. He's also setting records left and right. Okay. Yes, the turnovers suck ass. None of us like it, but he's also doing a lot of very good things out there and has done a lot of really great things for this team, right? There's nobody that works harder, in my opinion, on that field than Josh Allen, who puts his body on the line every single game. Okay. So I don't want to hear the whole Josh Allen sucks. And that's the reason why we lose. Like, that's not the reason why. Is there going to be games that Josh Allen costs the game? Yes, of course. There's games, I'm sure Tom Brady, had a bad game and lost the game because he threw a bad pick or just had a bad performance. Shit, we beat Tom Brady one year. I think he scored 0 points. That was the Sam Adams touchdown. He was terrible, right? All of a sudden he sucked. He had a bad game. It happens. So I'll never be one of those guys because I know what Josh Allen's potential is. I understand he makes mistakes right now. I understand he needs to mature in some areas of his game. But overall, we're blessed to have a guy like this. We haven't had a quarterback since Jim Kelly. It's just funny to me. People want to get rid of Josh. Like, I'm hearing talk. Like, it's like, are you crazy, bro? Are you nuts? Like, go to the draft. Look how many first-round picks are failures that don't work out. Go back to the 2018 draft class. Baker Mayfield's on his 4th or 5th team. Sam Darnold's floating around. Josh Rosen's not even in the league, right? There's only 2 quarterbacks that stand right now in that draft class. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, okay? And then you just go back to a lot of drafts. I mean, that quarterbacks just fail. That were supposed to be unbelievable quarterbacks. And they weren't, because the NFL sometimes will chew you up, spit you out. It's just not for everybody. And I'm not willing to go down that road again where we get rid of a guy that, right. And we go at the, you want to go through the drought again? Well, there you go. It's not the coach.
That's how you do it.
Put you in a drought. Right. It's you need to have a franchise quarterback in place. We have one. It's the leader that leads this team in the right direction. And that's, I think, where this team has failed. And like I said, I don't want this to be a Sean McDermott. I hate Sean, or, bashing Sean McDermott. I respect the shit out of Sean McDermott. I will clap the day he leaves here, and I will give him his dues and say, hey, dude, he was a good coach. Okay. I will never say otherwise, but he reached his ceiling, and I will stand by my word. That's it. But I'll give him his dues. I'll give him his props, and I'll tell anybody, whatever team he goes to after us, that he's a head coach, because he'll probably get another head coaching job, and he probably should, that, hey, man, you're getting a good coach. You're getting a good coach, especially if a bad team, who's going to build that. You're going to build that team up, and is going to get you back to being relevant again, and is going to make your city happy and proud to be your fan of that team. But
absolutely,
I wouldn't expect too much after, but he'll get you there.
Once you get there, you can change coaches again.
Yeah, then you figure it out after that. But he's a perfect guy to start off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Winning ways again.
So speaking of drought, the New York Jets have the longest playoff drought in North American sports at this moment in time.
It'll continue.
So, speaking of those Jets, we want to make that continue. Our season is on the line, and I agreed with you. Last week was a must-win. Technically, like you also mentioned, it wasn't, because we're still technically in it now.
Right.
But we really, really needed that fucking game last week. But now this week, you get a little revenge opportunity. I liked Robert Saleh. I like Robert Saleh as a coach. I hate how he runs his mouth. So going back to, I mean, he always ran his mouth for the last 3 years.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Nothing to show for it because then everyone had a winning season yet. But then he goes and says, we've embarrassed all those elite quarterbacks. So if I'm Josh Allen, this is a game which I know it's not possible probably. I would love for him to just throw like 400 yards passing, like 5 touchdowns, no picks. But
I
he's
would
going to
love
have
it
that in the
too.
back of his mind, like, this guy outright disrespected you, your game, and who you are as a player. And, you're not a guy who's basically like, oh, yeah, they're nothing to us. We can stop anybody. Have that in your mind and just remember what happened week 1. And your whole season, we're 0-0 right now. Everyone's 0-0. It's a shortened season. Like, when baseball had 60 games because of COVID, we have a 7-game season. You got to win the most games out of 7 out of any team to make it. So it starts tomorrow. And, what are you looking for, not just offense, but overall team wise going into this game tomorrow?
Well, listen. What are we, 2 games back right now of Miami, right? I think.
Yeah, they're 6-3. We had the bye. We didn't have a bye.
So we haven't had right. So they have their bye actually last week, right? So they're coming off their bye. They're going against the Raiders. So I don't think they'll lose that game. I think they're at home. I think they'll win. So we will remain 2 games back, right? I think if we win, so it's definitely a must win. I think I'm going to say it, man. I think all these games are pretty much must wins. You can't. I just do. You can afford to lose 1. I think 2 maybe, and that's real. Like I told you earlier, that's teetering.
You got to get real lucky.
Yeah, I got real lucky and hope some teams fall off. Right now, I will say this, man. I feel bad for the Bengals. I feel bad for Burrow. That's a shitty way, shitty thing to happen. But the chances of them making the playoffs are slim, very slim with that injury. He's gone for the season, as everyone knows. I just don't see them being, I don't think their defense is good enough like the Jets to keep them around. You know what I mean? I think so. Yeah. That's good for the Bills. I know it sucks because of the injuries but we got to look at the big picture here.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Jets game, I forget. Who cares what Salah says? Who cares what the Jets players say? It doesn't matter. Right now, it's on us, right? Plain and simple. So I think the offensive line has their hands full here. I think the offensive line needs to play probably their best ball of the season against the Jets. They need to protect Josh Allen, keep him upright. I think that we need to go up tempo against this Jets defense, who's a young defense, but very aggressive, very fast, very smart. But I think if we play fast, confuse them a little bit by going up tempo, prevent them from getting defensive substitutions early on, we can maybe surprise them with a different kind of game plan than we did the last 2 meetings. Because I feel like the last 3 meetings, actually. So I'll take it back because we didn't look that hot, even with the win we did last season going against them. So I feel like if you switch it up a little bit, show them something different this time around, catch them off guard, because they're going to be expecting us to do the same old, right? I'm telling you, they're going to look at the film and go, okay, here's what they're going to do. I think Joe Brady, here it is. Here's your moment. Mix it up, switch it up, surprise them with some, sprinkle on some new designs, whatever you got planned for this week. Run the ball more than you did week 1 against them. Go up tempo, use Murray. Hopefully, we'll see if Fournette's activated. That I don't think he is, but we'll see. And just go fast, man. Go up tempo fast. I don't think defensively, I think we're fine. I think listen, the Jets offense stinks. There's no way that they are going to beat us because their offense just outplayed us. Like, there is no way in hell. It's going to be all about the offense. What can our offense do against their defense? But if you look last week, Jets played the Raiders. Brees Hall had like 35 yards. Like, you could stop their running game. We got Joseph now, Linval Joseph, who's playing really good, and he's only been here 2 weeks. He's going to clog up the middle, stop that running attack. Von Miller's slowly getting back in the swing of things. Hopefully he could play a little bit better this week. Stop that run on the outside. I'm hoping. But like I said, I understand though. I do understand why. But players like Gregory Rousseau, Leonard Floyd, like these all guys are going to step up, stop that run. You stop the run, you leave it on Zach Wilson to beat you. We are going to dominate on defense. If you don't stop the run, then they might get down and score some points, whether it be field goals or maybe even a touchdown here and there, and make it an interesting game. But I don't see that to being the case. I feel like we'll stop that run and we'll leave it on Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson won't. I just can't see him beating us. So it'll be an offense. It'll be all up to our offense. If we turn the ball over, make mistakes, it's not going to be pretty, and we're probably going to lose a close game like we did week 1. If our offense can show something different, be a little bit more creative, then I think we can win something like 27-13. I really do. I believe that. But if it's the same old, we're probably looking at a 20-17 loss or something stupid like that. Yep. Late field goal when Sean McDermott couldn't stop them.
And they go like last year. They go 90 yards to win the game.
Right. So, that's my keys, man. Just show something different on offense. Stop. Don't show the same old, because Robert Saleh's, I'm telling you, he's in that room going, hey, guys, we know this team, right? Guys, we know this team. We know what they're going to bring. And this year they're struggling, guys. Look at Josh. He ain't even fucking running. You got no worries, bro. Just fucking play back. We're going to pick them apart. We're going to play physical. Like, they're not going to run the ball, guys. Don't even fucking, I'm telling you, he's thinking himself, there's going to be no difference. Yeah. Don't care if Joe Brady's in charge, right? Who gives a fuck? So if we show him something different, it could be that's where we break that Jets defense down a little bit, when they're not prepared for what we're throwing at them, because we're going to throw some creativity that we haven't yet thrown at them. You have to sometimes be a little bit different, creative, take chances against good defenses. You do. And sometimes maybe those chances, some of them are going to be turnovers. I'm okay with that, instead of not taking chances and just playing safe ball like we've been playing, and that safe ball is not working. So that's my point. So
absolutely,
to me, I think you take a couple chances, you be a little bit more creative, show them a different look this time around, confuse them on defense, and maybe we got something going. We'll see. If it's the same old, we're fucked. I'm telling you right now. Then we're fucked.
Yeah, great quality points there as always. And looking at this game, even the first game we played, if you only turn the ball over twice, we win that football game. So before I get into anything else, just don't turn the ball over at all. I mean, if you turn it over, don't let it be more than 2 times, because that's how this team wins. They're, like you mentioned, their offense is putrid. Defense is very, very good. But if they don't get 3-4 turnovers, they can't win football games. Look at the Raiders game. They only turned the ball over twice, and they ended up losing. The Eagles game, they turned it over 4 times. They won. Against us, they turned it over 4 times. They won. The Chiefs, they only turned it over twice, and they almost won. So it's like you have to, for them to win, their defense needs to force a ton of turnovers.
Absolutely.
So if you don't allow that to happen, and, you mentioned how great their defense is, which is 100% absolutely factual. The way to beat a great pass rush, like a quick pass rush like that, quick pass. I know Josh doesn't like it, but against a defensive line like this, where, there's been a lot of talk with us, especially about predictability and, uncreative. That's exactly how the Jets defense is, because they're so good. They can just play you straight up. They do 4-man front, normal coverage. They don't do anything crazy, and they beat you because they're so excellent at doing it, and they're so good. They're like, beat us. I dare you. I dare you to beat us how we're playing. And that's where we have to just be like, okay, you got guys like Bryce Huff, Jermaine Johnson, Quentin Williams, Quentin Jefferson. They can get to the quarterback real quick, no matter how good the O-line is. So as much as we don't like to do it, quick pass, up tempo, like you mentioned. And as good as their defense is still, The Giants ran the ball for 260 yards on them when the Jets knew they were going to run the football. Yeah, they got Saquon Barkley, but when you know someone's going to run and they still get beat, I'm confident that we can run the football if we, put Cook and hopefully bring up Fournette, and I like Murray too. Get a little bit for all three of them. I want Josh to run not designed. I want him to run if the play breaks down, because that's what really beats these defenses when they don't account for him. But if we just call a design run where he runs a draw up the middle and he gets smacked by Quincy Williams, and C.J. Mosley, who C.J. Mosley's been known to try to take your head off, I don't like that. So run with the running backs. If Josh has to break down in the pocket and then run, I want that. I want you to take off if it's not there. But quick pass and running on offense and defensively, got to stop Breece Hall. Garrett Wilson's going in maimed already. Got a bad elbow. And I like Russell Douglas in this situation more than I like Trey White, because Trey White was coming in off of an injury. Finally, he's like this was his first year. No injuries happened, and he was fully healthy. But he lost a little bit of a step still. Russell Douglas, in the games we've seen him, when he got beat, he was already wrapped up on the receiver. So he's already right there. And I think that will be good for a guy like Wilson this week, especially since Wilson's banged up. And Allen Lazard has his drop issues. He's not that good anyway. I'm not afraid with Teron Johnson on him. And then that's really all they got besides Breece Hall. They're going to try to use this maybe this week and bring in that Izzy Abanikanda guy. He's making his debut.
I heard, running back. Yep.
They're going to try to confuse us a little bit, but if we just stick to our assignments, we don't try to get looking all crazy, looking around all the field, and just stick to where you're supposed to be going. You wrap up, because that's why the Breece Hall killed us. We couldn't wrap up. And then if you see the other game, he's been better as a receiver this year. His best game as a running back this year was against us, and he's been okay. But that big game against us really propelled his yards and his average. But he's going to get screen passes. So as bad as we are defending him, please wrap up, because he can break loose and get a big gain. They're always going to look to that when they're in a funk or they're trying to catch up. They're going to go to the screen pass to Breece Hall, or they're going to try to get a big run with Breece Hall. So just wrap up on defense. And really, like you said, if Zach Wilson beats you, if it's no turnovers at either team and Zach Wilson just beats you on offense, we weren't meant to go anywhere anyway this year. So
that's
why I look at it, because they're the 30th ranked offense. They're the worst third down offense in history since 1970 or something. So I don't care how banged up we are. We've seen this defense make play after play after play after play, but then they fail in the biggest moment. I'm done with that. I'm not going to give them excuse. A lot of people are like, "Oh, give them a break." I get giving them a break, but they've been stepping up and making plays. So why should I give them excuses now when I see them ball out? I see them make big plays. I see them make big stops. I'm not just going to give them a free pass because they gave up the game-winning field goal or they gave up the game-winning touchdown to Mac Jones. I can't excuse them for that. And I know you agree with me on that too. So this week against Zach Wilson, don't let this guy beat you again, because he beat you last time. I mean, Josh really turned the ball over 4 times, but we let Zach Wilson beat us. And, this week, just stick to Buffalo Bills football. Come in with energy. If you're kicking the ball off, set the tone and just destroy the guy getting the football. Destroy your guy in front of you, whether you're going to tackle the guy or not. Destroy. If you're on offense first, set the tone. If you're the lineman, smack the guy in front of you. If you're a wide receiver, smack the guy. Just set the tone all game, because they're going to be a physical team with you. And if we come in there flat at home again and with the season on the line and we come out there flat, I don't know what I'm going to do at this point. I'm going to be utterly shocked and disappointed with this organization, because there's been so many important games this year. The Bengals game, the Broncos game at home, and they just looked like they had nothing in them. No fight, no fire. And can't see that anymore.
Yeah, I wish we could get our own screen pass going. We haven't ever under Sean McDermott. By the way, we're terrible at defending them, and we're terrible at doing them.
I swear, man, I never understand how
the most simple, basic football screen pass been around forever, and we don't know how to run one effectively. It's mind-boggling. They work, by the way, if we knew how to run them correctly.
Can you imagine?
I don't get it at all, but whatever. That's another thing too. If defenses don't even, they know we're terrible at screen pass, so we're never going to do one. It's just, and if we do, we're going to do it, run it wrong, or
like 1 yard or 2 yards or something.
Yeah, I don't get it. Like, but it is what it is, man. It's been that problem since 2017. Tackling has been a problem with this team since Shawn McDermott has arrived, who preaches fundamentals and tackling and special teams. Everything that's let us down for years, again, is the one thing that he preaches, blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, you're either not getting the right players in, or you're not getting the right coaches, staff
holding them accountable.
to get these right, or whatever. I don't know what the problem is, but I'm looking at teams like the Jets who know how to wrap people up, who when
fast,
when they got a guy in the backfield, that dude ain't going anywhere. Yeah. They're gonna get you. Us, no, we got a guy in the backfield who's gonna get 5 yards. I don't get it. We got a quarterback right there. Ooh, we just let him go. We grab him by his jersey, guy takes off. Like, I don't know how we're third in sacks, by the way. I have no idea. I think it's because we started off hot.
Maybe.
And we just, I feel like we put pressure, but the guy, they're out of the pressure instantly. And it seems like they make a play all the time when they escape the pressure. Every single time.
Let me tell you this.
Like, it's crazy to me.
We'd be all those missed sacks that you just brought up. If we even got half of those, we'd probably be number one in the league. But just
100%.
The poor
we would be.
And it blows my mind too, because you shouldn't be teaching tackling fundamentals to grown-ass men in pro football and the NFL. You learn that stuff at the lowest level. So the fact that they're still not doing it, just makes me think that they're lazy, or McDermott really doesn't enforce it. And we don't see the practice, so I'll never know. I
have no idea. Or
it makes me feel like maybe he's just like, yeah, they're in the NFL. They'll make a tackle, but it's just, you watch other teams, like even the Raiders. That was one thing I talked about in week 2, was like their D-backs love to tackle. Like, they're not missing tackles. They're not, scared to hit. And our guys are just like, let me try to get my arm around his ankle, and maybe I'll bring it down a 240-pound man running full speed. Like, no, that's not how it works. You have to wrap up on their lower body.
Well, I will say, even Matt Milano sometimes whips.
Yeah, even them. He's our best tackler.
I would say he's our best physical tackler, I would say. But last week too, not to mention the blitz that Shawn McDermott loves to do back to back. The first one I didn't mind. Like,
no, I didn't. Yeah.
Like that was the right time to call it, right? Perfect time, in my opinion, because now you got, if it works, now you fucking send them back on field goal range, right? Now you got now you're in good spot. But now they need decent yards to get a first down, get back in field. Why are you blitzing again? You're going against a Super Bowl winning head coach. You're going against a Super Bowl winning quarterback who's been there, done that, a veteran. They could see it. They knew what was happening, and they did exactly what you're supposed to do, and then they got the pass interference. So it's like, bro, once again, like I told you, man. And then Shawn McDermott wants to point fingers at players, and
exactly,
like,
it's never his fault,
dude, right? What are you doing?
Yeah,
like, why are you doing this? Like, so it's just like, that's what I mean when I'm talking about, like, yes, the players got to execute. Yes, they need to tackle better. Yes, they need to stop turning the ball over on offense. Yes, they need to, stop dropping passes. Yes, Allen needs to make. But to me, it still goes back to the coaches.
100%.
That's who's leading the team, right? Those are the guys that need to figure it out. Okay, your team's turning the ball over. Okay, why are they turning the ball over? Okay, let's go away from this, because that right there is not. Let's get Josh some easy passes right now. Let's get him back in the groove of things, right? Okay, Gabe Davis dropping back. Okay, let's go back to Gabe. I would. Let's get him back. Let's say, hey, we still try. Like,
you got to show the confidence in him.
Like McDermott loves doing that too, by the way, pulling players out. Now, he'll never do that with Diggs. He'll never do that with Allen. but he'll do that with like a James Cook. He'll do that with Dalton Kincaid. He's going to do that with the younger guys. I didn't even like James Cook going out of the game after the fumble. To me, it's like
not as long as he did.
Not 16 plays.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, in a way it worked because now he's angry, and now
Murray did good still too. In the meantime.
Now Murray broke that line down for you, but it's not. I don't think being in a doghouse on an opening drive for 16 plays is necessary. Like, to me, Murray should have been in there anyways, and then you sprinkle in Cook. But let's see what he does. But that's another thing, like he loves to do, putting these players in doghouse. And then also like having players active that shouldn't be active, and those inactive that should be. Puna Ford should be over Tim Settle, in my opinion.
Yeah,
and it hasn't been the case. It's like, if I'm Puna Ford, I'm like, why did I sign here? By the way, Quentin Spain,
I'd be frustrated as hell.
Quentin Spain said they fired the wrong guy. Like, Quentin Spain hates.
I love that. I love that. When I saw that, I was like, he knows. He knows.
Yeah, him and McDermott have beef. So.
Oh yeah, I miss that guy.
Yes, and Quentin Spain. There's another great example, by the way. I know we're going backwards, but Quentin Spain in what was it, 2020 is when we got him, I want to say.
No, we had him for 2019, his first year.
Okay, so 2019. Yeah. Okay, so I thought it was 2020. Well, either way,
we had him for 2022, but then he didn't play the whole year because we released him.
Right. So he had a really good. He only was with here 2 seasons. One, and not even the second. When I'm getting ready. So he came. I thought he played great for us, in my opinion.
No sacks allowed.
And he wanted to be a Buffalo Bill. He came out and said, "Look, I told my agent, I don't want to talk to no other team. Get a deal done. I want to be here." Very, very rare guys you hear that, especially a guy that played very well at a position that's hard to get, right? Like, it's very hard to get offensive linemen. They're usually signed already by their team. They give them extensions for a reason. They don't want them to hit the free agent market.
Oh yeah,
good offensive linemen don't come easy. You got to get them in the draft. You got to get lucky. So Quentin Spain wanted to be a Buffalo Bill. We signed him. We brought him back. We're in fucking like week 2 or 3, and we bench him for fucking, I don't know, some bum. I don't even remember who the fuck we benched him for. It was terrible. Terrible decision.
Who was it, like that Winters guy? Was it Winters?
It might have been Winters.
He was horrible.
Why would you? Why did he play that bad? So it's like, that's what I mean about McDermott, like making guys inactive. Why would bro? I was so angry at that point because I'm like, and then they cut him. Then you don't even trade him. They don't even get nothing for him.
Yeah, got rid of him.
So it's like, what are you doing, man? And Bean is obviously a little responsible too, but you got to remember, Bean goes by what his coaches tell him.
Yeah, because he's
going to say, McDermott, you want, okay, he's not working. He's talking shit. He's a bad guy in the lock. Okay. Yeah, man. Like, you don't have no, let's just get rid of him. He's going to go with what his coaching staff tells him.
Yeah. Quentin Spain was awesome for us.
Right? Huh?
I said, Quentin Spain, he didn't let up one sack for us. I
know. I mean, I saw I thought Wyatt Teller was promising, and our stupid offensive line coach at the time, Bobby Johnson, and Shawn McDermott and fucking Dable didn't see it. How a lot of us fans, by the way, saw Wyatt Teller's potential and traded him. And now that dude is a Pro Bowl, all-pro offensive line. Crazy. Some of these, that's what I'm saying. So, and that's not even on Bean, because even Bean came out and said that's the last time that I really pretty much trust other people's word.
Yeah. And he drafted him too, so he knew.
Yeah, so like, I'm telling you, man, this coaching staff thing, and it all goes back to McDermott, has been a problem here. Like, there's been a lot of little problems that are now adding up, and here we are, year 7. McDermott has gotten rid of his defensive coordinator, which I know Leslie Frazier came out recently and said it was his choice. Whatever, he's not here. McDermott decided to take over. By the way, McDermott had his opportunity to go out and get a DC. He could have chose anyone. He could have even could have went Eric Washington. Who gives a shit?
Yeah, I would have liked that.
He chose to do that, right? So it's just really weird to me. Like I said, man, I really feel like McDermott is just, I feel like he's a little controlling. I feel like he thinks that his way is the way. And he's just gonna go down swinging that way, whatever. It's just, I think that's going to be his downfall here. I really do. I think in time that, in time, if this gets worse, now let's hope it doesn't, but if it does, my God, the Bagouls eventually have to cut loose, right? You can't continue on with a mess. So we'll see. But what I fear is too, though, depending on how the season ends, there's going to be other players that are going to be joining the Stephon Diggs train of of guys going, man, fuck this dude, I want out, right? Like, this is bullshit. Like, there's going to be guys that are going to be not so quiet anymore, put it that way.
Yeah.
Like right now it's just Diggs, but don't get it twisted. There's probably other guys in the locker room that are feeling the same shit. They're just being quiet right now. But I'm telling you, losing is going, if we keep going down this road, there's going to be more players that speak up, and then that's when shit's going to hit the ceiling, and that's when McDermott loses the locker room totally. And not only that, then you got players talking to other players around the league. You don't want to sign here. You don't want to fucking come to you.
We can't have that happen.
Right. And then you got a real fucking problem on here. Now you're going to overpay for players to play here. So I let's hope for the best. Let's hope I eat crow and Sean McDermott found his magic man and Joe Brady. And Joe Brady's just this unbelievable guy. And we go to a Super Bowl. And then I'll say, hey, okay, cool. We found something. And but right now, man, I'm nervous, man.
Oh, yeah, they got to show us something because this is what was not how the season was supposed to go. We lost. There's 16 teams in the AFC. Everybody knows. We lost to 3 of the bottom 4: the Jets, the Patriots, and the Broncos. The only one we didn't lose to was the Titans, and they're the second to worst, so we didn't play them. That's 3. Yeah. If we don't make the playoffs, we're going to look back at those 3 games and say, how did the team like this? How did the team with this much talent, regardless of injury, miss the playoffs losing to these 3 teams here? But like you mentioned, we have an opportunity, which, I mean, when we had that field goal opportunity, I was like, God wants us to win this. Even God himself is coming down from the heavens wanting us to win this football game, made him miss the field goal, and you had 12 men on the field. So
it's such a Buffalo thing, by the way.
It blows my mind to the point where I was just like, what we're getting opportunity and chance and everything to win every game that we're in, and we find a way to just lose. But from now
all
on,
the time, bro. By the way, all the time, Shawn. Like, the football gods are cruel to the Buffalo Bills. I'm gonna tell you, I've been watching since '89, long time. I watched the Super Bowl. I watched Wide Right. It was miserable. Even I was young. I was super young, but it was still like I was already diehard by then because I watched it. I started in '89. We lost to the Browns, and I wasn't all in then. I just happened to watch them.
That you were getting started.
Just started in the playoffs actually. So I wasn't like, it didn't sting as much. But then the following year when we were really good and we should have won. It was a game that we were predicted to win. People had us to win. And I think that was, like I said, of all the Super Bowls, that was the one where we took lightly. We took the Giants lightly, and you can't do that. And because we were so good that year, we were so well balanced on both offense and defense that we went into that game. And I think they had a backup quarterback, I believe, was Hostetler, I believe at the time. And it was just, I think we just thought we had it, and teams will sneak up on you. And then the rest of the Super Bowls were obviously just devastating. And then the drought, right? And the drought happens.
That's when I was born, 95.
But it's like, bro, it's like it even starts before that. Then you got, even before the drought, it was the Music City Miracle, right? And that was a fucking unbelievable. And then you got, of course, that Music City Miracle was Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie, right? And I was pissed off because Doug Flutie earned that job. He was the better quarterback. Yeah. And the owner, because he paid Rob Johnson all that money, made Wade Phillips start fucking Rob Johnson. And we lost that game. And I really feel like if Flutie played that game, it would have never came down to the fucking, because let me tell you, man, that offense was just, I'm not saying Doug Flutie was like, oh my God, but certain guys come in on certain teams and they just, the team rallies around them and they play better. And it's just, I think I felt that way with, yeah, exactly. So I felt that way with Flutie, and that team was just that the players loved playing for him. And he was a spark, man. And then we took him out in the playoffs, like the worst moment, right? He gets you there and you fuck him for the playoffs. So it was almost like destined to lose. You know what I mean? Like everything was just made to happen. And then you got drought, and then you got McDermott coming in. You got the playoff game, right? First one. Oh my God, the fucking Tyrod gets hurt, and fucking sorry ass Peterman has to play, and we don't. Right, and then you got 2019 against the Texans. We're up.
Man, that's still pissing me off to this day.
Things are looking great, and we fucking blow it. Right, and then you got 2020, the championship game. We just got fucking blown out. And I think 2020 also was, I want to say, the Cardinal game, the Hail Murray, I believe.
Yep, we could have had the 1 seed if we didn't lose that game.
Right, so it's like, dude, I'm telling you guys, 2021. I'm sure there was some bullshit that happened then too. I think it was the Titans game, where we fucking Josh Allen.
I fumbled at the one. Yep.
Slipped in. Right. And the 2022, the Minnesota game.
Yep. We could have had the one seed. Think about that, bro.
I'm telling you.
3 years in a row, we should have had the 1 seed, but it was one little, like the Vikings game. There was multiple. We were winning. And it was funny because my wife, she somewhat likes football because of me now, but we got the ball back at the 1. And then I was like jumping up and down. She goes, "Oh, you can't lose now, right?" I'm like, "Hold on." I said, "Hold on, you absolutely can."
Pump the brakes.
Right. And the next play, my buddy saw the video. His TV was ahead of mine. He texted me. He goes, "No fucking way." I was like, I knew it. I knew something dumb was gonna happen. Fumble, a freaking center quarterback exchange. Then you lose in overtime. We could have been the 1 seed that year. So we always find a way to just.
I'm telling you. And I think it's more times than not with McDermott, as a coach, because like I said, even go through the past. Yes, there were different, but it didn't happen as much. Like, my God, under McDermott, we have lost some fucking brutal
heartbreakers
game. Heartbreak. 13. We didn't even mention 13 seconds.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about that.
Right. So it's been brutal, guys. Even 2022 in the playoff game, a game. Come on, man. You should have beat the Bengals at home. Are you kidding? We win. We're going to play in a neutral site in a dome where the Bills actually play their best football, and you can't beat a depleted Bengals offensive alignment that guys are coming in. They're literally were saying, here's this guy. He was delivering eggs a week ago to Myers. It's like, we should have – what the hell – but that's Buffalo Bills football. That's exactly we never play to our opponent's weaknesses. We make guys like that. That's why I laugh every time we play a team, no matter what. I always laugh when the commentators go, the Buffalo, whoever playing the New York Jets are the 27th ranked rush defense, and it's like, and the Buffalo Bills probably would, and we never run good.
They should run all over him.
Yeah, or like, Zach Wilson's, worst third down completion percentage in the NFL this season. He fucking goes 9 for 10 again. Something like it's just like I laugh because I'm like, well, no, it doesn't matter this game. Yeah, because we're the Buffalo Bills and we somehow, some way make these guys, look phenomenal when they shouldn't be. Mac Jones, the worst. I'll never forget it. They were like bashing the whole game. Mac Jones just picking us apart.
It was surgical.
It's like, so it's like, I don't even listen, bro. I honestly, when it comes to that, like, I don't even talk about it anymore. Like I used to, like me and Mike used to do, when we would do our pregame or a preview for the game. I'd be like, we would be like, oh, we're, the Bengals are the 30th ranked pass defense, and man, we should be able to, blah, blah. Bro, we don't even talk about it anymore because it's what's the word? They're gonna pass all over us. I know, like they're gonna shut us down in the pass. Like it's just odd, bro. I just it's really weird. It's been that way for a long time. Even games where it's like, it's snowing in Buffalo and the weather's the worst it's been in a year or 2 years, and like we go out and pass 65 times. Like, what are we?
Oh my gosh, that was
what
the worst.
Is going on? We've done it multiple times. I don't get it. So it's like, I'm telling you, bro, this team always goes against the narrative. Like, always. If you should pass heavy this game, we do the opposite. If you should run this game, we do the opposite. Like, it's like, no, we're not going to listen to what the stats tell us. I don't get it. And that's what drives me nuts as a Bills fan.
You heard
that way.
You heard the most recent thing. The Jets haven't scored a touchdown in 36 possessions, so they're going to get.
I know
they're going to get their touchdown against us.
It's coming, and it's going to be funny. It's going to be like the first possession, just to rub it in, because the announcers are going to say the Jets haven't scored on Thursday, and then they're going to come down, and it's going to be like Zach Wilson on some pretty fucking throws. Like it's just what we do. Now we'll probably, by the way, too, this defense, I don't know what it is. We always give up an early touchdown. Always. Now they clamp down after. I will give them that, but they always, for some reason, teams always have success on their first drive against us. I don't get it. It's been like that forever. And then the defense kind of settles down, but it's like, dude, McDermott, when are you just going to have this team just come out on firing all cylinders, man? Why are we always flat? Like to start a game. Why are we always flat to come out at halftime? Like, why? Why are we always? I don't get that either. It's like, what are they listening to? By the way, Josh Allen, his playlist, like, all right, whatever. You like fucking Frank Sinatra? Okay. Bro, how about some hyper music? Like, we need you.
Yeah, I gotta get something.
That shit ain't working no more. That fucking jazzy music.
Blasting Luck Be a Lady tonight
whatever,
in the locker room.
I want Josh to do whatever the opposite he's doing now.
That's a good point. You got sometimes you gotta do that.
You're right. So
yeah, you gotta play some freaking
be different. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's where I stand. But man, fun show, bro. We've been on here.
It was awesome. Yeah, I was about to say let's get into final thoughts, and I just want to say first, I mean, I truly appreciate you coming on. I always love watching you. I always love interacting with you. We got Instagram, text. I finally got your phone number, so now I can bug you on your cell phone. But
that's right.
We love you over here. We appreciate you coming on and always tuning in and supporting us. And it was a blast to go on your Mafia Means Family podcast, representing them. Hopefully everything went well with the surgery for them, and hopefully they got to see it and they were happy that. Hopefully I did a good enough job for them. But
they commented. They commented, by the way.
Oh, they did?
Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, nice. I appreciate that.
Check it out. Reply back. Yeah,
absolutely.
She said thank you.
But this is a massive. I mean, I'm always nervous for every game. That's just how I'm wired. But they better come out. I mean, sometimes I feel like we care more than these players do. These players got to come out and just show us they care about it more than we ever thought. And then the good things will happen. You believe in yourselves. I don't want to hear anybody, whether it's good or bad, just anything about Joe Brady, because this is his, he's thrusted into a horrible position. If we don't do well in offense, I'm not going to blame Joe Brady. If we don't turn the ball over, I'm also not going to say, hey, it's Joe Brady's fault. Just let the guy coach. Hopefully McDermott gets his hands off. He can learn. He can get into a rhythm and then carry it into the season. Then we can start noticing after a few games his touch and his voice impacting the team. And this is a game we should win. And we said that multiple times this year. But I'm gonna say we win this game. I want to win by two scores, just to really get that. I don't care if it's 20-10.
I got you.
Win something like that, so you can feel okay. We got a tough matchup versus the Eagles, but we got one game out of it. We want to know this week. Now we're good to go to the next one. All you got to do is get this next game. So, but again, thank you for coming, Tommy. And
no problem.
For your final thoughts.
Yeah, man. By the way, Milano's out for the season. Like, it's official.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to talk about that.
Yeah. So he's done, guys. So finally, some clarity on Matt Milano. Daquan Jones could come back. Peck, I've seen guys, football players, other sports come back. So very possible. I think they're just going to play it how the season goes, because if we're out of the playoff race at some point, then forget about it. It's pointless, right?
Yeah.
But we'll see how that goes. But yeah, Matt Milano's done, which I kind of had a feeling. But anyways, by the way, the Dotson, I can't stand Dotson. And I hope they address, I hope they get a linebacker in the draft to at least sit behind Bernard or you know what I mean, to have somebody ready, because even I think Dorian Williams can be that guy. I just think he's a rookie. He's going through his rookie slumps. So I don't mind them backing up Milano, but I think it's too early, and I don't think McDermott trusts him, because that's how McDermott does. Though what's his name's even worse. So Dotson. So anyways, this game. So I have a prediction of 27-13. I'm just trying to be optimistic here. I truly believe that our defense can hold them to at least 13. That's where the Jets are offensively, in that 9-13 range in scoring each game. That's where you kind of see them. You don't really see them tinker past 20 often. So if this, like I said, if this offense can show something different, we have the playmakers to put points up. We have a quarterback that is one of the best when he's rolling. If we get him rolling again and get this offense back to being good and like getting their mojo back and getting that good feeling back of like, hey, we're fucking good, we can do this. Like, I don't know what that was, but yeah, this is it. Then yeah, they'll put some points up and we'll get out of there with a good win. And by the way, if it's a good, pretty win by, like you said, 2 scores, it will help this team as far as their confidence moving forward against the better. Because you know what I mean? So we need that. If it's a close game, barreling and sloppy, I still don't, then I'll still be nervous, even if it's a win, because if the offense is just still in a rut and we barely hold on for a sloppy win, there's no way they're going to feel confident moving forward against better opposition, against better teams' offense. Because you got to remember, like I said, the Jets are going to score 13, maybe 16 point around there. But when you're going against teams like the Eagles and the Chiefs and Chargers and Dolphins, you're going to have to expect our defense is going to give up at least 23, 24 points around that range. That means the offense has to score 27, 30.
Yep.
Like, so if we can't do that, we're fucked. We're fucked moving forward. So I need to see something out of this game where the offense looks like they took a step forward, that they got their confidence back, that you see that juice, that energy back. I gotta see it. I have to see it, man. I can't see the same old, because there's no. And by the way, I can't hear. If we lose, I don't want to hear. I don't even know if I'll even listen to the post game. Don't care anymore. Like, it's all coach talk. It's all crap week after week.
Same thing.
Nothing's fixed. Yeah. So execute, change it up. Let's have some fun out there. Let's score some points and let's get a win. That's all I got to say.
I love it. Roy says 9-6 Bills in overtime. I would absolutely hate that, but also be happy that we finally got a win. But like Tommy said, it would be a win where you're like, man, I really still don't feel good going forward. But yeah, we'll be good. I'm, as much as I'm worried, I think it took a long time, but I think they finally get it. So let's see if they actually put it on the field and can make it happen. But yeah, again, Tommy, thank you so much. And hopefully, I'll be tuning into your post-game show as always. Hopefully it's going to be a nice, we got to win, and not
I hope so.
This team just, oh man, I'm so tired of, we've been horrible for 6 weeks now. And
it's been a rough podcast. Has been rough, man.
We deserve us fans and creators, we deserve some fun. Because it's not fun for us when we're not good. For any fan when we're not good.
Rough.
So
it's rough.
Come on, Bills. It's about that time. Let's turn the season around. We got the team to do it. We got the players to do it. And I've been seeing all this like Bills are done. Bills are done. I'm just waiting for when we turn it around. And what are they going to say? Just think about how awesome it'd be if we could still do what we thought in the beginning of the season. So it starts tomorrow. But we want to thank you guys for tuning in. We appreciate you very much. Thanks again, Tommy. Go over to Mafia Sports Report. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Drop a nickel on the subscribe button here at Nickel City Mafia. Subscribe to Red, White, and Bills. And then Brett McDurphy at Go Bills Podcast, the new married man. Go give him a subscribe and a like on his videos as well. Till next time, go Bills. We appreciate you. And we'll see you next time.